Hi, spiritual theology students. I just wanted to do a quick video just to say hello and to give a quick response to the online discussion this week. I just came from a youth conference, this kind of huge regional United Church youth conference I was just speaking at. These kids were crazy. I'm in the basement of my family in New Brunswick, and so this is not an ideal setting. I just could not get the technology to work this week to do a full assignment video for you in order to really give you more description on how the assignment should work. But I hope to do that in the next few days. Most students haven't really started the assignments yet, other than the online discussions. But I do want you to have a sense for how things are working. So do check out that orientation video that's been on the main Moodle page. And also look in the assignment discussion forum online. There's been a little bit of a dialogue between me and another student about how to clarify the readings. And I hope that that discussion there will help you at this point, but I'll follow up a little bit more later. In any case, you're going to be reading either the Wright Mulholland Forsyth trilogy or Oscar Kuhlman, one of those two sets, and then with one of the James Houston books. And the James Houston books are largely similar, so I wouldn't worry about which one that you get. So take a look at that discussion for readings just to make sure that you're on the right page, because you're going to be responding to at least three of the different books in your reading write ups in the annotations and then the reading reflection, as well as maybe integrating some of this in your online discussion. So the discussion boards, the goal is to be able to critically engage with the material that we're learning about. We have the lectures from Eugene. He's got that kind of slow, gravelly voice, and he walks us through these texts and ideas. I've already opened up Unit B to maybe give you a sense of what's coming. You don't have to post until next Thursday, so you don't have to get ahead on that, although the discussion has already begun. But I just wanted to give you a sense of kind of where this class will be going and to give you a sense of what the lectures sound like. Eugene fills his material with gospel. He fills it with scripture, and he fills it with stories from his own life. And he really wants us to see the enfleshment of Jesus, the incarnational reality of prayer, the everyday reality of prayer, and the implication of prayer in Christian life. And and I want to see that come out in the discussion boards. The discussions have been pretty good at first, a bit kind of spotty, kind of hitting these points one at a time. And I would encourage you to now go with a little bit more depth. We can actually see this has already begun in the Unit B discussion. I would like to see for your Thursday post, and you can start anytime, as I say, next Thursday's post has already begun. I'd like to see you go a little bit deeper. I'd like to see that first post, or one of the first posts that you do, be a substantial thought. And then I would like to see you trigger discussions. And so go on and not just give encouragement, you've been very encouraging this week, but also to kind of trigger out and try and find ways of extending the discussion. What's next? What other people have you read? What have your experiences been as church members, as church leaders, as teachers, as pastors, as missionaries, as people in the marketplace who've been walking beside everyday people of faith and non-faith? What have your experiences been? How do you pull those out and really spend time kind of pressing in on that point? Because I want to see, I mean, if you think about it, an hour and a half or 2 hours just of discussion each week. This is not your reading. This is not the lectures that Eugene does. This is just the online discussion boards. And so, what does a couple of hours of intensive discussion look like? And it's going to have to take a little bit more depth on that first post or your second or third main post. And so that first post tends to be a little bit more research oriented, some thought put into it, shaped it, bring in scripture or reading or your experience in order to give that there, and then leave people with some questions. Likewise, when you're responding to somebody else, I mean, and I love how encouraging the responses have been, try and pull out membranes of thought. Try and trigger the next discussion. How do we follow up with this? What does this mean for everyday life? And so this is where I want to see the discussions go. A little bit deeper. Don't worry about answering all the questions. If you do answer the questions, a couple of things. repeat the question so we make sure we know what the question is about. So copy and paste it into your post. And if you're going to do kind of a rapid fire answering of the questions, and that's okay, put them all in one post. Don't do a bunch of individual posts. But if you want to really poke in on a particular direction or do a resource post like we did on definitions of prayer this week, go ahead and do that. Make it its own individual discussion. If the discussions get deep enough and they go off in multiple threads, I can always split them out so that we can kind of start its own thing. So the way that the pattern will go, each Thursday you're going to have a substantial post by Thursday. Over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I want to see you going back in and finishing up those discussion weeks. So Unit A discussion is still live. And then, Tuesday or Wednesday, you're prepping for your Unit B discussion, and so on as we go throughout the week. We'll take a couple breaks during the class to make sure you have a chance to kind of catch up, do some reading, and then prepare for the next week. If you have any questions at all, send me an email. I'm going to be traveling solid for almost the next month, but for the next 2 weeks, I'm in New Brunswick now. I'm going to be in the United States, but I will be checking email every day and will respond every day. I want to hear any of your concerns and conversation points, and so make sure that you continually engage with me and with one another. We'll talk to you soon.